Cat's pajamas. The holidays are coming, so I thought I'd show you a beautiful card that's easy to make too. First, we'll be cutting out the farm scene from our Holiday Toppers cut-up set. Just place it on the upper part of a 4-inch by 5¼ inch piece of white cardstock and secure it with low-tack tape. If you're using your Cuttlebug, you'll be using the A, B, and C plate. Now just run through the die cut machine. The die's not wide enough for this size paper, so we'll just snip across on both sides, continuing the shape of the die. And make sure you save the top part. We're going to be using that in the next step. Now, take a 4¼ by 11-inch piece of cardstock and fold it in half. Take the top part of the die that you cut off and place it on the front of the card about 1/8 inch down and mark about 1/4 inch from the bottom of the die. Now let's start making the sky. I'll be using Tim Holtz's Distress Ink, the picked raspberry, the mustard seed, and the stormy sky. And I'll be using my color box stylus. Now let's start making the sky. I want it to look like it's just dawn, so I'll use the mustard seed distressed ink with my color box stylus and swirl the color from the mark that I made up. That looks pretty good. I can always add more later. Next comes the picked raspberry ink. I'll make sure that the foam head is for pink and swirl the color from the edge into the center of the card. This picked raspberry is really strong, so I'll work lightly and gradually bring the color into the center of the card. Keep working, gradually building up the color. I think this looks pretty good. Now let's do the stormy sky with my blue foam tip on the stylus. Now that I have the sky just about right, I'll edge the entire card with blue ink. Looking a little messy, but don't worry. Once we put the die cut on top, it'll look great. I think that this card needs a little bit more of the picked raspberry right in that area. This looks good. And let me see what it looks like with the die on top of it. I think this looks pretty good. Now I want to add a little bit more interest to the sky. So I'll just take some water and flick a couple of drops of water on the ink. Just here and there. Once it's dry, the drops will look like stars. Now while the background dries, I'll go ahead and stamp the sentiment. This sentiment is from our Home for All Seasons stamp set. I'm using white pigment ink for this stamp, and because the pad is so juicy, I'm not going to press down too hard. Perfect. Now, to set it, I'll use clear detail embossing powder. The embossing's done, I'll just trim the edge into a banner shape. So let's put the whole card together. A little foam tape on the back of the die cut panel. And I'll place that on top of the ombre background, leaving a little border. Now I'll add the sentiment. A little foam tape on the back of the sentiment. I like that. Right there, I think. I'll trim off the end. Next, I want to embellish it a little bit. This is one of our snowflakes from our snowflake lace paper die. You get a whole bunch of different snowflakes, and I'm picking the biggest one. I think I want it right there. Now to embellish it even more, I'll attach a button with the divine twine bow and the glue dot on the back of each. And this card is done. I love how colorful it is, and it's so simple. I hope you give it a try. Have a great day.